record.
Okay,
Here we
so
go.
I'll start off with just saying thank you guys so much. Like we talked about earlier about, you know, where we started and where we came from. I mean, Cyndago started about a year ago, well, more than a year ago now, like a year and a half ago. No, almost 2 years ago now, right?
2 years.
Yeah, because your first video was posted, what, in January or December?
December,
yeah. So it's almost been exactly 2 years since they started. It's almost been 3 years since I started. And the weird thing is, I was driving last night, late at night, I was out to get some food, and I was thinking about where it all came from and how, you know, I've been dedicating every day of my life to making videos and thinking about how this has changed everything. And the weird thing is that I don't feel like anything's changed from the time I started. I still feel, you know, this surge of adrenaline every time I post a video because I'm like, oh, I can't wait for people to see this thing in it or this new thing that I did or something cool that happened. And that feeling is amplified so much when I'm able to like work on a really cool sketch with Cyndago and we slave over it. We spend hours and hours and hours making it, and then I kick the bucket, I go to sleep, they continue editing it late into the night. Like, they pull all-nighters pretty much every time we make a video together, and I feel bad because I'm old and I have to sleep, but
yeah, right.
I wake up.
Shut up. You're not old.
I wake up and I see this amazing creation that we've done together, and then we release it, and the response is either fantastic or mixed, or it doesn't even matter, because I still get that same rush from making the videos, and that's why I'm so grateful that we have this opportunity to do that. So, you know, just from the bottom of my heart, and I'm sure from the bottom of Daniel's heart, and if Ryan was here, he'd say the same thing, because he's the most excited about it. You should see Ryan when a good idea is boiling. Ryan is just so bubbly and excited.
Ryan loses face and just goes all for the idea.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing because I think the dynamic is with Cyndago. Between Ryan and I specifically, it's usually Ryan. You know, Ryan comes up with a lot of the ideas for videos. At least that's the way it's been lately.
Yeah, he's the writer.
He's primarily the writer, and what he'll do is he'll come up with an idea, and you know, he'll fine tune it in his head, and then he'll bring it forward to me, and then I'll kind of tweak it a little bit, and then I'll kind of make it into something that we both can agree on. You know, something funny. You know, mess with the comedic timing or something. But then when it comes time to actually executing the idea, it's amazing. I gotta put this down because I really want to talk.
Yeah.
It's amazing how we just click, and I found that in Ryan way after I even met him. We knew each other in high school, and he was actually my producer. Like, he was in charge of the entire broadcast journalism class that I was in, and I goofed off the whole time. Like, all I did was make the videos I wanted to make. I made silly videos. I did the busy work I had to do, just so I could get done and work with Gray, or, you know, primarily Gray, and just make silly videos like Stain, Spurgler.
I love Stain. Stain is like one of my favorites.
Those came from just Gray and I hanging out. We talk about it. If you listen to the podcast that Ryan and I did with Gray, there's a lot of backstory on really, really, really like roots Cyndago stuff, and that's a really good listen if you guys are interested, especially if you've donated, if you want to see how far we've come and how far you're taking us. Really, it's fantastic. But yeah, I think the dynamic is, like I was saying, Ryan will write, and then I guess I'll do what I can technically to bring it alive. You know, well, we've gotten to where we both write in a sense of like I said earlier, sticking to your means.
Yeah.
You analyze the situation and you realize, hey, you know, I can't do this in this situation. We can't go out and do these special effects. We can't do this. It would be great, don't get me wrong, but there's so many limits, especially living in the Southeast in Colombia. It's a great city. I grew up here. I love it. But, you know, it's just, you just can't do what you got to do for YouTube, being a sketch comedy artist. So getting us to LA is going to be the best possible thing that we could ask for.
I
honestly.
mean, especially for me too, because I've been there's a lot of other YouTubers out there, but there's not a lot of other YouTubers that I really click with when I work. I mean, there's plenty, because, you know, Matthias is there and he makes some really cool ideas, but he's busy with his own stuff, and like I often find myself wishing that, you know, I had something to do, because I have a lot of ambition when it comes to these things, and nothing motivates me more than having like a goal, having something to work on, and having something new to challenge me. Like, I learned a lot of stuff about After Effects just in that 1 week when we were together. I knew nothing about After Effects. I was just like, I gotta learn, I gotta do special effects. I learned how to do the gunshots in the Worcestershire Affair, and how to flash against, you know, the face and stuff. And over time, it's the same thing with thumbnails. I learned Photoshop. I learned all these cool stuff. It's just getting happier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting happier. So it's really cool to see these challenges be met, and I can't wait to have that, because in LA, you know, I left, you know, my friends behind, and it'd be good to have friends there, and I consider Cyndago friends of mine now, and I want to have that again. I want to have the motivation to get out and do challenging new things and like really test the boundaries of what I can do, so that I can, you know, I can feel inspired again. Because I mean, in a way, I've been doing gameplay videos for so long that it's easy to get distracted and uninspired from doing them. I'm still just as dedicated as ever to do it, and I'm always excited to do new things, but I've been doing gameplay videos for 3 years, and I'm never going to stop. You know, I'm not going to stop so long as people want to watch them. But I want to explore the new realms of what can be done in YouTube, and I've talked about this a lot. I love sketch comedy, and I love doing it. And that even the chance to do like 1 or 2 a month would be amazing to me. Like the chance to have the opportunity to work on it. It would actually motivate me to do gaming videos more, because I would pre-record more just so I could have days where I could work on this cool stuff. I mean, that is the most amazing thing to me, is that I have the job where I can do whatever I want, and then I can be motivated to make cool videos, and then I can be motivated to learn things. Because I tweeted out yesterday, you know, I feel like there's this stigma where education and learning are being discredited. And I think that's a misconception, because schools are not as reliant as they were. But now that we have the internet and we have this ability to communicate with everyone in the world, we can learn everything we could possibly want. We have devices that give you access to the entirety of human knowledge. There's so much to learn, and it's not just in entertainment. There's learning about space and the universe and understanding everything that there is. Like, the world is so incredible to see and experience, and people get stifled in classrooms, and people aren't challenged creatively in classrooms unless you're in a really class you like. But it's like there's just so many things that we could do and experience, and I want it all. You know, I don't want it all. I'm not greedy like that, but I want to experience as much as I can, so that I can have the means to teach other people to do what they need to do.
Here's Ryan. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, and they like, if I could give anyone the inspiration to push forward, such that they don't necessarily live for themselves, but live for the future that we could have, and live for what we could do down the road, and live for the next generation, and so that other people, when we're long gone, you know, when we're long gone, we could definitely be able to do these cool things.
What are we gonna do?
So I'm so happy to be able to you know, have this opportunity where I'm in front of so many people, and just happy to be able to inspire people. That's the biggest privilege I could ever have. They're talking over there about the donations, I think. So if you try and tell me Mark is not the doctor, you're very wrong. I'm not the doctor, because I like, to be honest, being the doctor would scare me. Being able to travel through time and live so long, oh man. I perfectly understand the fact that someday I will be gone, and it may not be a happy subject to talk about for a lot of people, but to me, it kind of gives me the sense of meaning. You know, I have a limited time here. I know that, you know, someday I will die, or, you know, I'll be gone, and I will only be remembered by the mark that I leave on the world. So I need to make sure that that mark is the most important that I can do. So that's my philosophy on life, and I hope that I can teach other people to live in the same way, such that they don't care about, you know, their own personal gain now, because you got other people to think about. You got families that need taken care of. You got friends that need inspiration. So anyway, don't talk about death. But I mean, talking about death is not a sad thing. It's like what we were talking about before. Lion King is about learning to accept like death, that we're temporary, and it's so important to understand that fact. It's a hard thing to talk about. It's a hard thing to accept. I'm not telling you need to accept it right now, because that's something that people take on their own time. But for me, I'm just talking about my experiences. I know that what I do is temporary, but what I leave behind lasts forever. So anyway, enough talking about death.
That was incredible. No, that was seriously great.
Yeah.
So guys, I just got word that somebody donated $500 and are going to get a personal song written by me.
Ooh, who did that? Who did that?
Look, two people
want personal songs. Yeah, they heard you play. Now they know that you actually have talent. So that's awesome. Yeah, he's a wonderful, wonderful musician. He knows, how many instruments do you know?
I can play drums, guitar. I'm born a guitar player. My dad's a drummer. My mom sings. My grandparents have played and sang in church and stuff. Yeah, guitar, bass, drums, a little bit of piano.
Really
sing a
jam
little
out.
bit.
Give them a taste of what you can do.
All right, let me tune my guitar back.
Yeah. Back from the sad, flat octave.
Okay. Can't play the guitar very well. I just made all that up. Sorry.
And there you go. Was that all made up?
Yeah, it's stuff that I made up before, but I was just goofing around.
Yeah. So if you have an idea now of what he can do as far as making a song for you, there's 3 slots available. So if you want to make, people were like, Mark, sing, and I'm like, I'm not gonna ruin that with my amateur singing. I'll just let him do what he's doing. So that's what Daniel can do as far as.